Hello, hello, hello. Yeah. Hey, hello. This is Jean from the podcast Thrive, Not Survive After Child Abuse, but it's always Saturday 10 a.m. when I do my Instagram live, right? And today's title is Should We Have 2021 New Year's Resolutions? That's kind of a thing, you know. Should we have a 2021 New Year's resolution? Uh, um, because after all we have experienced so far in 2021, you might think, well, I'm not going to want those New Year's resolutions uh, anymore because I saw this little thing on I think it was Instagram, by the way, same thing. And there was this girl who was going back into her journal, and she had her 2020 a New Year's resolution. She had it ready and she was reading it and she was laughing so loud. It was super funny because she said, in 2020, I want to do more exercise. Well, she couldn't go outside. I want to have more relationship and stuff like that. So, should we have 2021 New Year's resolutions? That is the main question. Now, a lot of people would now say, no, 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 we should not have any more New Year's resolutions. You never, never, ever know what's going to happen in any year. So, why should we have those New Year's resolutions to begin with? Now, I think it's a really good question. Someone asked me that. I had to think a little bit about it because Ja is always about, end of the year. I normally do a workshop or some blogs and podcasts around New Year's resolutions. And I was really thinking, should I do that or do I turn people away if I do that? Actually, to be honest, you kind of know already where this is going. I think you should always make New Year's resolutions, right? Now, here is the things, right? So a date and a calendar is basically man-made, right? So you don't have to wait, obviously, until the end of the year to start with New Year's resolutions. But it's just a thing that we do when we talk about it on New Year's Day or on New Year's Eve, saying, "Hey, do you have any New Year's resolutions?" Um, so I'm sure a lot of people are concerned about it. I already saw on social media people posting about it. I can't wait till 2020 is over until something new starts. Well, something new. A new year starts every day, so to speak, right? So if you want to change it, then just change it right now, I would say. But if you want to go with me into this New Year's resolution thing, then you should stay a little bit with me in this Instagram live on Saturday morning, 10 a.m. in Dallas time. All right. So that's what we are going to talk about. What are the typical New Year's resolutions that people normally have? Let's take the word normal and not normal for a moment with us, and then we'll maybe throw that away as well. And so we have the usual things, right? We should stop smoking. Now, I don't think that had anything dealing with COVID or not COVID, right? I think if you still smoke, you want to wait till January the 1st to stop smoking, then I would say still do that, right? I mean, that's always good. Don't immediately think like, oh, it gets COVID now, I don't have to stop smoking. That would be a little bit funny if I say it, but you see, I'm already putting things quickly in perspective for you, right? So, you want to lose weight, which is the second, number losing weight, by the way, is the number one resolution every year. Apparently, not a lot of people are very successful because otherwise you would not have that resolution every year as a New Year's resolution. So, okay, now we might gain a little bit extra weight because of the whole COVID situation. So I would say, yeah, definitely keep that on a number one, if that was your number one, because now you have actually more reasons to lose weight. Does that make any sense? Yeah. And together with weight loss, is the second most common New Year's resolution is always, we need to do more exercise. Now, maybe because of COVID-19, you did less exercise. So I would say that's another good one to put on that list again. So I already gave three things, right? You wanted to stop smoking. You don't have to blame COVID-19 that you cannot stop smoking, right? So you still should stop smoking. You want to lose weight, same thing. You maybe have even more reasons now to stop smoking, to lose weight than in the year before. So start doing that as well. And the same thing with exercise. Oh, but yeah, I cannot go to the gym. Okay, it's always about, with any resolutions that you take, it's not about the resources that you have. It's about being resourcefulness, right? That's, by the way, that's true for anything in life. So in this case, you need to be a little bit more resourceful. You don't want to go to the gym, which I fully understand, right? But there are also gyms that, take really good care. They do social distancing and they clean everything up after you use the instruments. So, or the tools or whatever, the weights, if that's your thing. That's not my thing, but if that's your thing, you go ahead. You can still do that. Most gyms actually are doing really well with them, and they probably could use your business anyhow. So do that. But if not, there's like tons of things that you can find on YouTube, like daily video instructions that can talk you through daily exercises. So if you say, hey, but I missed my gym instructor, no, there are other ways to do that. Either he is doing online classes, or you find something else that is now being taught online. So you can still do that. You do yoga. My sister is online, that's why I'm saying that, right? If you do yoga, of course, I hope you go to her yoga class, but I'm sure she also posts a lot of online yoga classes. I'm a dance instructor. I do a lot of online classes. To be honest, that's not really my thing, but hey, there are many good dance instructors out there, and it's their thing to do online classes. Not so much my thing. I do my own mental coaching and normal coaching online. I did it already for years online, and I'm still doing that. So I stick a little bit with that. But so maybe you have to shop around in a different way, But that's true for any New Year's resolutions, because any New Year's resolutions that you had in the previous years has normally to do with breaking an old habit that you have. Does that make sense? So. Has that my sister asked me to go into my Instagram live, which is, of course, I always if she wants to talk to me. Hello, sis. So you're live now with I don't know how many people, but you're on Instagram live. I was talking about you, about your yoga classes, and some people say maybe we should not have New Year's resolutions anymore, because 2020 was like such a disaster year. Actually, I make a case, if you like New Year's resolutions, you should make them again. There are very few reasons why you should not have a New Year's resolution. So for instance, take something that you and I like. We like a healthy lifestyle. If that's one of the things you want to do in the new year, to create a healthy lifestyle, I think still stick to it, right? It has nothing to do with that there is COVID-19. Maybe there is COVID-19 for the next 20 years. Would that mean that you don't have any healthy lifestyle until that year? Does that make sense? By the way, if you talk now, everyone can hear you, Jackie. That's at least what I think. I'm not sure. I don't hear any sound. But anyhow, so let me continue. With that. This is my beautiful sister. She's calling in from the Netherlands. Yeah, while I'm talking from Dallas, right? Anyhow, I hope you guys can hear me really well. Just a little bit. I'm a little bit a geek sometimes if it comes to technology, right? I use this new microphone right here. Do you see that? And I hope the sound is a lot better than usually, because otherwise, I bought this whole microphone for nothing. Anyhow, back to the New Year's resolution. So what are the things that you normally have on your list, right? I mentioned already 3, and I'm going to continue with a few more, right? So we said stop smoking always. I don't think you should wait till January 1st. If you want to stop smoking, please stop today. I used to be a smoker as well. And there were many years that I had that New Year's resolution to stop smoking on January 1st. Never happened. Never happened on January 1st. One day I was so sick and tired of it that I was still smoking. I just stopped. Had nothing to do with January 1st. It had something to do that I should have realized many times in my life before, is that smoking is actually really bad for you. And it's not only bad for you, it's also bad for all the people around you. So please stop smoking. And if you're one of the people who thinks that e-cigarettes are better, throw that away too. That's my opinion. Don't be angry at me. That's just my opinion. And if you think that e-cigarettes don't stink, they do stink. Right? So that's also my opinion. Don't be angry at me. Don't wait with those kind of things till January 1st. But then you have the whole weight loss thing. That's always the number one. And number two is always doing more exercises. And I do think that you can do more exercises any day of the year. You don't have to wait till January 1st. And you don't have to definitely blame COVID-19 to make those good New Year's resolutions. Does that make any sense? So what are the other things that people want to do normally in a normal New Year's resolution? Some people say, hey, I want to change my job or I want to change my career. Right now, okay, this is a little bit more tricky because COVID-19 has thrown away a wrench in our life, right? Some people actually lost their job because of what's going on, and I'm really sorry about that. I'm seriously sorry if that happened to you. Don't go sit down. There's a lot of ways to do still work. It's a little bit harder, I do admit that. If you're in some industry, I'm in an industry of dance. The dance industry has been hit really hard because of what's going on. A lot of people in a similar type of industry probably have the same experience as I have, but studios are empty. Some people just don't have the money to run their studios on lower number of students, so they got broke. And so that's very serious. A lot of dance teachers who are making a life of doing private lessons, stuff like I do, the number of private lessons, they might go down. Other people actually were very inventive and immediately came up with online classes, and their business is actually a little bit better. So, but hey, if like me, I just admitted online class is not really my thing, right? Then you have to find something else. Does that make sense? Yeah? Then you have to find something else. And what is that else going to do? Like, give me a few tips, and I probably in the beginning of next year I will repeat some business mastery classes that I will do. This is not a commercial, by the way. I'm just saying it. That one of the biggest and fastest growing industry that was already true before 2020 is online teaching, right? It's online teaching. So because the old-fashioned education industry is going down, and that's meaning going to high school and college and stuff like that. Don't hate me for that, saying that either, because I think it's true. A lot of people want to learn more things that they immediately can use, or they want to learn from people who actually been through something, right? So if you want to learn yoga, I'm just saying that you don't open a book and go sit in a classroom. You go to a good teacher who actually has studied yoga, know how to do yoga, and brings you into, I don't know how that's called, Jackie. Is it a yoga camp or something? A yoga retreat. I mean, that's how you learn these kind of things, right? You learn it when you actually think and believe you need it, right? So that industry, some people call it a knowledge-based industry, right, is booming. That will probably one of the biggest industry in less than 5 years from now. So still good time to jump on that bandwagon. I've been on there for a long time already. So that's one of the things you could do. What are the other things that you do? I see some people who actually always work from an office. Suddenly they have to not go to the office and they do all their meetings online. That was already a thing. But now it's like 100%. And wow, it worked for some people. Some people actually like it a little bit more. If you're a little bit more like me, where you like to come in contact with people, maybe not so much a thing for you. But a lot of people start to find out that we can do with a lot less office space. It means cost reduction. and people can still contact each other around the world, especially global focused companies. They already did a lot of online talk meetings and stuff like that, just with the people that were sitting around them. There was normally just to book an office room and then go sit there with each other and stuff like that. Now they just go all online and be on Zoom. Now, that's another industry. If you think about the people that are, supporting all this stuff, Zoom is one of them. Okay, then you could maybe come up with a couple of things how to do that. Giving training. I was talking to one of my clients, and she's a hair and makeup, and she's in the hair and makeup industry. And so we talked about, and I give these things for free. Is right here. So a lot of people are not very confident in how they look on camera, but they have to be more on camera right now. Now look at the difference of the people that are online and my camera. My camera looks really good. My voice looks really good. So you need to have some more knowledge about technology and how to do that to be more on camera. If we have to be more on camera and you need to do that more professionally, you might look into that. And if you're in that industry, hair and makeup, you can maybe say, hey, I have here a few tips for you how to do that better, right? Like people go to the hairdresser if they go to a party, and now you go to. So it has always to do, always, that has nothing changed since 2020 or 21 or 2030 for my sake, that you need to be inventive. So we have maybe become a little bit lazy in thinking about every year will be the same, so we started to call it normal. Now, if you know Jean a little bit, he never liked normal to begin with, right? He always wanted to change things up. That's a little bit my character. So maybe 2021 was a year. It's not the prettiest year, by the way. I don't want to say that. I think we're hitting quickly to 6 million people who died from COVID-19 in 2020. So it's a very, very serious thing. I don't want to take that away at all, right? But what I want to say is that, if you are expecting that it comes back to normal at some point in time, I think you're hugely mistaken. I think it will never come back to normal, because what is normal, right? What is normal? People who lived in before World War II and they lived through World War II, they say, I hope it will go back to normal. The world never came back to normal after World War II. It was a completely different world. And people build up something tremendous, new things. And I think we rise from COVID-19 in the same thing. We'll build up new things. We maybe be more online. We maybe need to do the things differently. But you still need to make good resolutions for your life. Whether you call them New Year's resolutions, that's up to you, right? That's a good thing to do. Or whether you just say, hey, I still need to change things. I still see that a lot of people from March 13, that's when lockdown here in the US happened, till now are somewhat in a waiting mode. So what I want to say to you guys is, if you make only one New Year's resolution this year, then make that this one. Stop being in the waiting mode. There is no waiting mode. Don't wait till things change for you. You change the things, right? Become the change. Does that make sense? Make that your one New Year's resolution, right? And I'll probably do a couple of more podcasts in there how to do that, what to look for, because you might have to do the things differently, and you are way more. That's the nice thing about the human being. We have proven over all these years that we can mess up things pretty big, but we can also build really cool things as well together, right? So one thing that we have proven to ourselves as human being is that we rise up from whatever ashes we have been in, right? We got out of, think about it, World War II, and it sounds like what? A lot of generations that live right now don't hardly know what happened in World War II, seriously true. But since World War II, we hardly had anything so globally impacted as World War II. Now we have COVID-19. Hopefully people take it serious, because we're hitting, I think, 6.5 million deaths already. So don't, and some people still believe it unless it hits their family. Now I can tell you that 2 families were very close to me, my own one, my kids, and the mother of my kids had COVID, and the mother of my kids is still suffering from it, right? She's not contagious anymore, but it takes a lot of while. If you're a little bit older, sorry, Nelleke, if you're a little bit older, then it takes a little bit while. My son, Naveen, stayed home for 10 days and boom, went back to school and nothing going on. And I have other families very close to me who actually are also hit by COVID-19. So it's a serious thing, but it doesn't mean that our life has to stop. On the contrary, I think it should always move forward. So, what was the one New Year's resolutions that I said you should all take? Yes, be the change, right? Be the change. You don't wait. Stop. Sitting in the waiting mode. Go forward. If you are in a job that you are not happy about, don't say, okay, let's now stay longer in it. Change the job anyhow, right? If you had to lose weight, then lose weight. Those things don't change and nothing to do with COVID-19. So stop using that as an excuse, right? There are only a few cases where that is truly, a completely change of our life. But for a lot of people, actually, it's not such a big change at all. It's an adjustment. But we always need to adjust. The question is, do you adjust down or do you adjust up, right? And I always say the only way is up. It's a song of the 70s or something, and don't wait till I start singing because that would be really ugly. But it goes a little bit like this. The only way is up for you and me, and so on and so on. All right, okay, a little bit in a goofy mode, but New Year's resolutions probably will come back. It is, after all, December. I hope you guys all had a really good Thanksgiving. I think I already asked that last week, but I just wanted to know it again. And with that, I wish you a wonderful beginning of December. If you're in the Netherlands, then I hope still there are a lot of families that celebrate Sinterklaas. And since my sister is online, I want to say happy birthday to your husband, Jaap. And for tomorrow, I'm already going to say happy birthday to my other brother-in-law, because tomorrow is his birthday. Right? All right, this was Jean, and I will see you back tomorrow. Oh no, not tomorrow, next week on Instagram Live. All right, bye-bye. Done. And